In this screencast, I'm going to show you how to set up items where you want the customer to modify the item that they're buying during the purchase process. So in this example, I'm going to use a wooden paper stamp, so one of these kind of things that you can use to stamp a message on a piece of paper, and we're going to ask the customer to specify what text they want to be on the stamp that gets printed on the paper, but also we'll ask them whether they want it gift wrapped or not as well. So when you set up modifiers, the main item that you're going to be modifying is a single stock controlled item. Obviously you can have loads of items doing this, and in fact I will also show you how, if you do have lots of items, if you have items which use the same options, the same modifiers, then you can just set that up once and apply the modifiers to lots of different items. But the idea is these items are single stock controlled items that the customer is going to modify. So in other words, however they modify it, this stock is still coming from the same stock source. So here we go. Let's take a look. We're going to do this on our seller demo website. That's this one here. And we use this for testing and demonstrating. And this is the control panel here. So if I go to manage items, and then in fact if we click on categories, you'll see I've already set up a super category called personalized items and a category underneath called stamps, which is where we're going to add these items. If I click on back, so let's click on easy new item. And I will just add this now. So wooden paper stamp, make the price $9.99. Item code could be ST1. Let's put it in personalized items, stamps. The briefest of descriptions. Obviously yours will be more complicated than that, or more detailed. I won't bother adding it to collections, but you can do that there. Let's say we've got 50 in stock. And so bear in mind, we're setting up modifiers. We're not doing variations. Variations are different. Variations where you have, say, an item in small, medium, and large. And of course, that's actually 3 different items. Modifiers are where you're changing an item. And just to make things slightly more complicated, you can have modifiers on a variant item too. So you could modify a small, medium, or large jumper by printing the person's name on the front or something. So you can do that too. But we're just going to stick with just modifiers for this example. So if I choose the image for upload here, we do that one here, and I click on save. So there we go. We've added this wooden paper stamp, and we've called it ST1. In fact, if I go to the website and I go to personalized items and stamps, you'll see there's the item there, but we haven't done the modifier yet, so it's just going to be an ordinary item with a simple description underneath. So what we need to do is locate the item in the item manager, click on the item code to bring up the item properties on the right, then scroll down to the modifier section, that's here. If I click on that, so we're going to do modifier 1. So for the first one, we're going to ask them if they want it gift wrapped. So we put, do you want it? Do you want it gift wrapped? Question mark. And you can either have radio buttons or a drop down. I'm going to have radio buttons. You don't need to worry about those ones there. For the new value, I will put no, so we'll default it to no. That's not going to change the price or the weight. Click on save. And then for the other value, I'm going to have yes. And let's say it's going to add an extra £2 to that, so I'll just put the value 2 in there. If it increases the weight, which it might do for shipping, then you put the additional weight in there. So this value that you put in the price is going to modify, it's going to be added to the original price. And then I click on save. So we've got, just to recap on that, we've got no and yes. Then I click on save. So there we go. So we've got, do you want it gift wrapped? And we've got yes or no and yes. Then if I click on back, scroll down to modifiers again, we're going to have another one. And in this one, we actually need to make this one unrestricted, because all we're doing is asking for the customer to enter some text. So if I click on unrestricted in the group name, then I will put enter the text to be stamped. All right, so there we go. So rows 1, columns 20. So this is how you can restrict how much text you want them to enter. This is going to let you enter 20 characters. If I click on save and then click on back, and if you scroll down here, you'll see when I expand modifiers, we've got 2 here. So we've got the first one with 2 options, which is do you want it gift wrapped, no or yes, and then we've got enter the text to be stamped, which is unrestricted. So if I go back to the website here, and if I refresh this page, So we've got the item here. Do you want it gift wrapped? No. If I say yes, you'll see the price says $9.99. If I say yes, it goes up to $11.99. Enter the text to be stamped, so it might be sold. There we go. And if you click on add to cart, that goes off to the cart. And of course, you can tell what they've put because it'll appear in brackets after the item name there. And so you can use that to process the order. So if I click on continue shopping, now this time let's add another item. So if I go into the item manager,
someone has started shopping with you.
Okay, that was the voice notification alerting that someone started shopping. That was of course me clicking on the add to basket button. And if you don't know how to set that up, you click on the bell icon there and you can set it up there. So let's have a look. If I click on, let's copy this. We're just going to create another item. And here we go. If I click on that item now, I'm just going to change this to ST2. Kind of like stamp 2. Let's make it, this time we'll make it $14.99. And if we scroll down to modifiers, you see it's copied the modifiers as well. So you can do it like that if you want, and that would copy the modifiers. In fact, if I just click on the IM icon there, I'm going to delete that image there and add a different one. Close that there. So that's actually the fastest way to add a modified product there. So now we've got okay, this was wooden paper, so I need to change the name of it. Let's change that to metal paper stamp. Okay, there we go. So we've got wooden paper stamp and metal paper stamp. If I go into metal paper stamp, it's going to look just the same as the other one. Do you want to gift wrap? Yes, it goes at $16.99, and you can enter the text to be stamped there. So I don't know, past, whatever it may be that you want on there. Oh, I didn't change the description on it, but you get the picture of what you can do. And just so you know, to change the description, you click on the icon in the DSC column is the easiest way of doing it. Click on edit there, and I'll just change it to metal. Excellent, save changes. But there's one thing here, which is, let's go back there, click on that. But the problem with this is, if you now wanted to change, if you suddenly decided actually the gift wrapping instead of being £2 is going to be £4, you'd need to go through and edit those modifiers on every single item you've put it on. Okay, here we've only got it on 2, so that's about a minute's work. But imagine if you had 1,000 items that all had modifiers on it. Basically you can't edit 1,000 items, it would just take you all day. And so what you do instead is use a shared modifier. So let's see how you do that. In fact, what I'm going to do first is just delete the modifiers out of the individual items. Okay, that's deleted out of ST2. Let's go into ST1, just delete those as well. Great, so we've deleted that out of ST1 as well. So now what we do instead is we click on shared modifiers at the top here. So there's a few kind of previous tests there, just ignore those for a minute. If in the new shared modifier name I put stamp, and then I click on add shared modifier. Now shared modifiers let you do a lot more things. If I click on edit for stamp, then to begin with it just looks quite similar. We can go into the first modifier and we can edit it. So in this one we're going to make this unrestricted, and I'm going to put name to be stamped. In fact, not name, let's do text to be stamped. Question mark, save that. Click on back, and then in the second one I'll put, do you want it to be gift wrapped? Oh, in fact that's there already. Do you want it gift wrapped? And put no. Save, and then yes, and have the price as 2. So this contains similar functionality to what we were just looking at on the individual items, but there's other things you can do as well. So you can composite images. And what does that mean? What that means is if you're selling pictures, then you can add frames, And so when they view the picture on your website, it will show your picture actually in a frame, because it will composite the images, layer one on top of the other, and it will layer your picture on top of the frame so that you can see what your picture looks like in a frame, and then they can choose different types of frames. And also you can set up conditions. So what that means is, for example, if they answer yes to do you want a gift wrapped, then you could have another question saying, do you want simple gift wrapping or deluxe gift wrapping? So you can add conditions and make other modifiers appear based on their answers to previous modifiers. So you can only do that in shared modifiers. You can't do it on the individual one, on an individual product. So you do it to a shared modifier and then you apply it to the product. So let's have a look at how we're going to apply this to a product. In fact, two products. If I click on save there, click on back, and click on back again, all we do, click on back there, we go into the items, let's choose ST1, and if I go to modifiers, and instead of all this lot at the bottom, we just choose shared modifier, I'm going to choose stamp, click on save, and then for ST2 we'll do the same again, modifiers, stamp, and click on save at the bottom. And so then, I mean, it's just going to look the same really, but the good thing is, actually I'll show you how that's going to work. If we go into each item, it's going to look very similar to what we had before. Text to be stamped, do you want a gift wrap, no or yes? If I choose yes, it's going to add £2, and of course the other item as well. If I choose yes, it's going to go to £16. But then let's say you wanted to increase the value, you wanted to increase the price of gift wrapping, you would simply go into shared modifiers, you would edit your stamp modifier, this one here. Do you want a gift wrap? Edit that, and instead of £2 you would have £4. Click on save, and then on the website here, let's go to personal item stamps. If I do the wooden paper stamp, you'll see this time it goes up to $13.99. So you only need to change it in the shared modifier, and then that change will be applied to all the products that shared modifier is applied to. So hopefully you can see that you can use Seller to sell items which have modifiers and allow customers to customize your items.